to go ahead and do some ground driving out here in the arena. Um, she's already done a few, 3 or 4 groundwork sessions in the round pen. She seemed pretty cool with that. She's a pretty chill horse, so we're gonna go ahead and do that out here in the arena. Same rules, just letting her kind of walk around and do some ground driving. So I'm gonna pop her stirrups down because I'm gonna put the lines through them. I have them kind of all laid out here, or rolled up, not laid out, like organized so I can get them laid out correctly. I just like to have them as organized as possible. I'm gonna run them back through the stirrup and then to her halter here, and then she's just gonna wear that bridle just for experience. I like to have all my lines nice and neat and organized, and I still kind of have her on the line here, so I still have a hold of her. Then I'll get my other line, again, organized, and you can see it, put it through the stirrup on this side. I just like to unwrap it because I don't like having my lines flying all over the place. Okay, so I must have done my other session where I ground drove her in the halter beforehand, because I think there was a session in here that I just didn't show because most of the time I was out of the view of the camera. So I did already ground drive her in the halter in the arena before. So now I've done that one, I think it was just one session where I did that in the halter, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the bridle. So So now she's all set. I've got the lines up over her saddle and run through the stirrups. I can unclip her lead line, and then from this position I can get my lines figured out and ask her to go forward. And over time I can definitely have her stay for longer. I'm going to fast forward through this because she's off camera. This is why I didn't show the other session, because most of the time, like right at this point I just had like 2 GoPros. So I was just using one GoPro, and I had it in the wrong angle and you couldn't really see what I was doing. But I'm just going to stick at the walk here and kind of get her used to steering around in this bit. So I have my lines kind of between my legs there, so they're not all over the place. They're just a little bit more organized. And hopefully it won't be too far away so you can kind of see what I'm doing. It is going to be far away. This isn't a GoPro, so it's not the most ideal situation, but you kind of get the idea. And I just threw these videos. I have 2 videos of her ground driving. Um, and you can just so you can see the process, even though it is kind of far away and it's a little blurry, but you can kind of see what's still going on. Like, she's kind of cruising all over the arena, which is great for her. She's steering left and right. We do a little bit of stopping. It's just the same rules apply as in the round pen. It's just on to the next step. So this is what we did in the halter previously, but you just couldn't see us. So now she's doing the same thing in the bridle, so that I'm preparing her to ride in the bridle. So, and we do kind of leave the camera again a little bit. And come back. I want her to go in all the places in the arena, every corner, down the back rail here, which is usually the scary end of the arena next to the cornfield. So just kind of cruise all over. And I do kind of have the advantage here too, because it's very similar to riding, but it's not, so I'm not on her yet. She can get used to all the sights and sounds and everything in the arena without me getting too worried on her back. I definitely like a lot of ground driving for sure. And I can work on her being straight, doing some turns, kind of evening out her steering, all kinds of stuff. So, but you definitely want to keep your arms up high. You want to keep those reins off the ground, off getting tangled in their legs. She's pretty responsive, so she'd probably stop, and she's pretty chill, so I don't think she'd be too worried about that, but I always want to know where my reins are and keep them organized. So decently straight. I'm just trying to kind of let her follow the rail around here. And again, like, it's tough with that GoPro. You can only see so much. So fast forward through that. We are in the corner, just making a circle. Come back out. And she's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. She's decently straight. She's trying to, follow the bit and figure out what she's supposed to be doing. Yeah, pretty straight, not too bad. I'm just kind of steering her a little bit back to the rail when she kind of veers off of it, and then leaving her alone while she is on the rail. I don't want to constantly be pulling onto her. She just stop. I'm using the fence rail there to have her stop. That looked pretty nice. Yeah, just want to use those fence rails to your advantage there. Nice little turn. Yeah, she looks good. I like her body language. Her head's nice and relaxed. She's not really like pulling on the bit or seems too worried about it. And we can kind of follow that back fence line parallel. Looks good. Nice steering, nice turning. Lots of good stuff here. Steer the other way and halt. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a treat. So I'm just gonna toss that line up. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a treat. And I would like to toss that outside line up over the saddle so I have both lines on one side of me so I have control over her. I can give her some treats and then I can move back and toss that line back over to the right side and then continue ground driving. I like to have control on all my lines at all times. So I can back up, toss that line back over, and she's cool with that. We already did a lot of desensitizing so that she'd be fine with the lines moving, and then I ask her to go on. And we're just going to follow the rail for a little bit. A little bit of steering again. She gets a little stuck. Just like she has been under saddle, she kind of, like, if I ask her to steer, she gets a little stuck. That was a good turn there. I'm trying to get her kind of straight. I was trying to aim for the poles here. We got one of them, so we're starting to introduce a couple of obstacles too, so she can kind of get the hang of doing multiple